The likes of VVS, Laxman and Ajit Agarkar have said that perhaps it's time for MS Dhoni to make way for a youngster in the Indian T20 setup, that maybe he should play only ODIs now because he's not managing to go hammer and tongs at the opposition from the word go with the bat. Your take on that, sir?
My take is that, that VVS and Ajit are completely entitled to their opinion. They've played a lot of cricket for India, and it's their view. It might not necessarily be the selectors' view nor the captain's view, and we'll just have to wait and see. But what happens is that when somebody reaches an age, beyond 30, then I think every time all of us are just looking to find fault with that over 30 person. We actually hasten somebody's retirement from the game by demanding too much of the person. We do not look at maybe the guys who are under 30, who are 20, 25, who actually haven't done anything. But we tend to sort of overlook that. So we will not look at the failures of the others in that same innings. Hardik Pandya getting out for one, not picking a googly. We won't look at that. We will not look at the fact that the openers did not give the usual start. We will only point a finger at MS Dhoni. So that is unfortunate. But well, that is India for you.
Well, we'll also talk about Hardik Pandya in a bit, sir, but it's talking about MS Dhoni for now. It's not really a secret that Dhoni would want to play the 2019 ODI World Cup. Do you think that regardless of the criticism that he's facing right now, if he does quit T20s, is that going to be better for him in terms of being able to focus only on one format, or does it really help a cricketer much more if he plays both forms of limited overs cricket?
Well, for a cricketer, I think it helps if he plays continuously. Because you're in rhythm, you're in the groove most of the time. Even if you might not be taking wickets as a bowler, even if you might not be scoring runs as a batsman, having actual games, having actual match practice is very, very important. You can have as much net practice as you can, but it is never the same, because you know that in the nets you have another delivery. But in a match you don't have the next delivery. If you're out, you're out. If you're bowling and if you bowl a bad over, you might not get another over. So I think match practice is fantastic, not just for the physical aspect, but also for the mental aspect. So clearly I think the more cricket anybody plays, the better for him.
Right, let's switch tracks now, sir, from MS Dhoni and focus more on Hardik Pandya. Now, he is someone who is, of course, very naturally talented. He is one of those pinch hitters in the team, especially in the T20 format, that you would like to see walk in and start hitting sixes. A good all-rounder, really. But do you think of late the pressure of expectations is weighing him down? Is there too much pressure of expectations on Hardik Pandya, and is that really showing in the way that he is playing right now?
It looks like that. It certainly looks like that. But look, if you look at Hardik Pandya's career, you will find that when he's hit those big sixes and stuff like that, it's always when the team is in a very secure position and that he's got to go and do it. Or in a lost cause when he just smacks the ball around and then he hits those big sixes. But like it has happened in the last two matches that we've seen, when it is needed, when the team actually needs him to score runs, not when the team is in a secure position, that is when he hasn't quite been able to deliver the goods. He's a young man, he's a fast learner, and I'm sure he'll be coping with it, with this, because all this is a learning curve. He's only 23 years old, and I think he's only going to get better. The more he understands and reads situations, he will only get better.
Right, from one youngster to another, what did you make of Shreyas Iyer, another youngster who's very talented, played his second India match in Rajkot, this time got a chance to bat, scored 23. In the context of the match and the overall result, of course, it might not have been a very important knock, but what did you make of him overall?
Well, he started off with a bang, didn't he? Smacking all those boundaries, and he certainly has a lot of shots. But I think he's got to just find, the right medium at the international level. At the international level, he will not always get, boundary balls. This is what happens. And I think it took Rohit Sharma some time to find that medium where he restricts his shots for some time till he gets going. And I think Shreyas Iyer will have to, do that as well. be a little more, careful as far as shot selections is concerned, particularly the risky shots, the aerial shots. He can play the shots along the ground, but when you're going the aerial route, there's a very small margin sometimes for error, and that can cost you a wicket.
Right.
So his start was very, very good, very impressive. He certainly has a lot of cricket ahead of him.
Right, talking about the match overall, the second T20, was it really a surprise to see the Kiwis do so well in Rajkot and in a way outplay India in all departments? Because they are actually the one team that has pushed India really hard in this home season in limited overs cricket.
Well, if anything, I think the cave-in Delhi was a bit unexpected from New Zealand. I know India had scored more than 200 runs at the Firozshah Kotla, but the way New Zealand has played against India, I thought they would get pretty close to that. And that's what they did at Rajkot. They got almost 200 batting first. So yes, I think the first match was a bit of a surprise, not the second match, because there they played to their potential.
Right, one final question for you this evening, sir. Now, exactly like the ODI series, the T20 series is also now boiled down to the last match, which becomes a decider. Traditionally, the Kiwis have dominated India in this format. Is it very difficult really to pick a winner for the third T20? Or would you say since India are playing in home conditions, they will still be the favourites despite losing some momentum?
Oh, yes, I think the home side always is favourites, and I would think that India would be marginal favourites, because New Zealand's a very good team. We saw that in the one days. We're seeing that in the T20 because they've got a varied attack. The difference between Australia and New Zealand this season, what we've seen is the variety in the New Zealand attack. And if New Zealand can start holding their catches, which is surprising because they're such a good fielding side, but they're dropping catches. If New Zealand can hold catches, then they will certainly give India a run for their money.